Hello, hi, good morning, everyone. Let me first introduce myself for those students who do not know me yet. By the way, my name is Teacher Joy Bacala, the co-teacher of our main teacher, Dr. Gloria Benigno. And in today's lesson, we'll be having our new discussion, a new subject since today it's already second semester. All right, but before that one, can you hear and see me clearly? All right, so that's good to hear. How about my screen? All right, so that's nice. Now, again, our new lesson for today is all about general mathematics. So we already discussed in our last discussion the overview, the time, and the quarter. We need to discuss this one, including the subject terminal outcome or your main project after we discuss this subject. Okay? So one more time, general mathematics will be taught this second semester during the third and fourth quarter. All right? And without further ado, let's now start. Now here, I also sent today or yesterday rather your sheets or the activity sheets that you need to answer when you are at your home. Okay. Now to be guided for you, in order for you to be guided, we have here the table of contents, this one, and we have also the learning competency and the page number. Now, ang gagawin dito is that the first week is we are going to discuss these two topics. Okay? Sa unang linggo, ang itatopic natin is first one is the represents real-life situations using functions, including piecewise functions. Then pangalawa, nandito ang evaluates a function. But don't worry, we will discuss later on ano ba ang function. So our objective today is to understand what is a function and piecewise function, and also how can we evaluate a function. So ito ang dalawang topic na ating i-discuss within this day. Okay? So please listen carefully because afterwards, there will be a quiz for you to answer at your home. Now, in general mathematics, okay, let's have here the background first or recognition of your prior learning. So after learning about linear functions, quadratic functions, and polynomial functions, okay, this time we shall consider functions in general. The phrase is a function of, okay, dito, is used to describe a situation or relationship between two variables. So it means that we are this one, to explain further, okay, para madaling maintindihan, again ha, pag sinabing function, it means that we are describing, again ha, we are describing a situation or relationship. Okay, one more time, ano yung function? Okay, very good. We are describing a function between situation or relationship, okay, between two variables. All right, so meron tayong dinidescribe na situation or relationship between two variables. Okay, pag sinabing variables, it talks about the numbers or letters that we can try to change, right, or to fill in. Okay, so thus in describing this relationship, it is natural to represent it using ordered pairs. Okay? So again, one more time, pag sinabing function, okay, function means is a function of, it means we are describing. Again, anong dinidescribe? Describe a situation or ano pa? Relationship. Okay, one more time, anong dinidescribe? Situation or relationship. Okay, very good. So, saan sila dinidescribe? So, dinidescribe ang situation or relationship between two variables. Okay, nakuha? Okay, pag sinabing variable again, it talks about the letters or numbers that we can try to change the value. Ito yung variables. Okay? So to understand better, we have heard the first word, yung first vocabulary is we have, please read. Okay, relation. So one more time, relation, relation, relation. Okay, remember, pag sinabing relation, okay, it is a set of ordered pairs. So for example, your mom and dad. Okay, so your mom and dad is on a relationship or they have a relation bucket because again, they are pair. So para sila, they have the X and Y. That's the word relation. Now remember, kapag ka sinabing relation, the set of all entries of these pairs is called domain. Okay, so one more time. So, for example, again, repeat tayo sa situation ng iyong parents. Kapag ka meron kang mama, if ever, kapag ka your mom and dad is used in this context, so your mom and dad, because they are pair, ang tawag sa kanila ay relation because they have relationship. Okay, nakuha? Then followed by, pangalawa naman, the first letter here, so you have the letter M, we have the letter D. Okay? Ang tawag raw sa first entries, again, anong tawag daw? Ang first entries, yung letter M, ang tawag daw dyan ay domain. Okay, repeat after me. Ano ang tawag sa first entry or your first number or letter? Ang tawag ay domain. Okay, one more time. Ano ang tawag daw sa first number or letter ng isang pares? That's we call Okay, domain. Okay, repeat after me. Domain, domain, domain. Okay, one more time. Ano yung domain? Domain ay, okay, very good. Yung first entry ng ating pares. Alright, now, the domain of the relation, okay, while set of all second entries of this pair is called range. Okay, dako tayo ha. So we have the mom and also the dad. Ang tawag daw sa first entry is domain. Very good. However, yung second entry, ang tawag daw dyan ay tawag na, okay, range. Okay, repeat one more time. Ano ang tawag sa first entry? That's a word. Okay, domain. Ang tawag sa second entry, tawag ay range. Okay, you kasi just follow doctor, 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 dr, dr, domain, followed by range. Okay, then doctor, doctor, domain, then range. Okay, nakuha? Okay, very good. So, again, we have the relation. Ito yung pares. Ang unang letter or number sa isang pares ang tawag ay domain. However, ang pangalawang entry ay tawag ay range. Okay? Now, on the other hand, we have here the function. Ano ba ang function? Pag sinabing function, this is a relation that assigns to each element of the domain exactly one element of the range. Okay, so again, in our mother tongue, we have function. Ano bang function ng isang example ng lapis? Okay, we have lapis. So what's the function of the pencil? Right? It's to use in writing. So the same also here sa ating mathematics na lesson. If we talk about function, this is a relation. Ano nga yung relation? Pares, ordered pairs that assigns to each element of the domain exactly one element of the range. So ibig sabihin daw, kapag ka merong function, this is a relation. Ano yung relation? Okay, ordered pairs na ina-assign daw sa every element ng ating domain. So ano yung domain? Yung first entry. Okay, to each element of the domain, exactly one element of the range. So ibig sabihin daw, to make it short, ang function, okay, is a relation or pares that we give some assignment or that we assign for every domain and also for every range. Okay, nakuha? Okay, very good. So let's repeat one more time. Pag sinabing relation, relation means that is the pares. Okay, very good. Anong tawag sa unang letra or unang number? That's the domain. Anong tawag sa pangalawang letra or letter? Okay, or value, that's the range. So just follow after me, doctor, doctor, domain, and range. Okay? On the other hand, kapag ka sinabi nating function, ang function is a relation. Okay? Relation that assigns to each element of the domain. So yung function is yung relationship ng ating domain at ng ating range. Okay, ano yung domain? Yung first entry. Ano yung range? Yung second entry. Okay? So that is the main concept. Now, dako tayo sa illustration para mas madaling maintindihan. Okay, the illustration below shows a function of mapping. Again, relating or pairing a domain of element X of set D to range of element function of X read as function of X of the set R. So, ano mo ibig sabihin nun? Now, here, remember, we have the circle D and the circle R, right? This is circle D and this is circle R. Now, the point here is that the illustration will show a function F mapping, okay? Relating or pairing the domain or element, pairing a domain element X of the set D. Okay? So, in the case here, it means that itong letter D natin dito at itong letter R, they are pairs. Yan ha? So, they have their function. Ano yung function? Is a pares. Okay, yung function is yung pares daw that assigned to each element of the domain at saka ng range. So, going back again here, the illustration below shows a function ng X. So, ano bang function ng X dito? Okay? Relating or pairing a domain of element X, ito yung X, okay, of the set D. Ito yung set D because yung X daw ay value ng D. Okay, to range element function X of the R. Okay, nakuha? So, it means that the function of X, how we read is function of X. Again ha, ito ang function of X. Okay? So it means that we can get the value of the R if we know the value of D. So meron silang relationship. So they are partner. Okay? They have relationship. Nakuha? Kasi again, ang function daw ng F daw, ng X rather, is makukuha natin kapag kaalam natin yung X. And both of these circles are tawag na function. Again, ano yung function? Ito yung, okay, repeat, anong function? Function is a relation. Pag sinabing relation, it means it's a pares. Okay, pares ng letter D at ng letter R. Ito yung main point. Nakuha? Okay, very good. Now, dako naman tayo sa next part. We have example here to better understand. Okay, so we have example. First example here, given the set of ordered pairs, ito yung ordered pairs. Okay, it means ordered pagkasunod-sunod, yung pairs means pares. Okay? So ano ba ang next number ng wine? Of course, 2, right? Ano ang next number ng 2? 3, so on so forth. So, until 7. Now, the first 1 and 2, because they are pares, ang tawag dito is ordered pairs or ordered pairs because pares sila. Okay? Now, ang point here is that given the set of ordered pairs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5 and 7. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, and 7. Now, let's determine the domain and range. Again, i-determine natin ang domain at range. Ano yung domain? Yung domain is, doctor, domain is yung first entry. Ano yung R? Is the second entry. Okay, very good. Now, answer. So, by definition, the domain is set of all elements of X coordinate. Now, repeat. Now, pag sinabi natin 1 and 2, lahat ng first number or first letters our tawag natin is X. Repeat after me. Anong tawag sa first number or first letter ng pares? Tawag ay? Anong tawag? Okay, that is what we call the domain or somehow the element is called X coordinates. Again, ang tawag is X coordinates. Okay? So, however, ano naman ang tawag sa ikalawang entry? Ano ang ikalawang entry? Tawag ay RRR range. Very good. So again, yung 2 is yung second entry natin. That's the word range. So it means that since 1 ang tawag kay X coordinate, ang tawag naman sa 2, that's what we call Y coordinate. Okay? So repeat one more time. Pag sinabing first entry, ang tawag kay range. Alright? Remember, the domain is set of all elements of the X coordinate. So ibig sabihin, lahat ng Y, lahat ng unang entry, lahat ng range, ang tawag is okay, X coordinate. On the other hand, ang tawag naman ng 2 or second entry or shall we say the range is what we call Y coordinates. Okay, let's have an exercise. So, saan dito ang X coordinates? We have the number. Very good. Number 1. Ano pa? The second line or second pair. Ano ang X entry or X coordinate? We have 3. How about sa 5 and 6? Ano ang X coordinate? We have 5. Very good. How about this one? Sa last one? Ano ang X coordinate? We have 5. Okay, very good. So that is the X coordinate or the domain. Now, moving forward, dako tayo sa Y coordinate. So, kapag ka X is yung una, yung Y naman is yung pangalawa. Now, let's have a quiz or let's have a exercise again. Saan dito ang mga Y coordinate? We have the number 2. Very good. Saan dito sa pangalawang pares? We have number 4. How about this one? We have number 6. And this one, we have number 7. Okay, very good. So, ito ang mga Y coordinates. So, let's repeat. Pagka sinabing X coordinate, ito yung first entry. So, we have number 1, 3, 5, at 5. Okay, and sa Y coordinate, we have the number 2, 4, 6, and 7. Okay, so yun yung ordered pairs ng ating domain at saka range. Now, let's move on to example number 2. So, decide whether the following relations are functions. Now, earlier, we talked about function. Ano yung function? Pag sinabing function, ibig sabihin ito yung pares. It's a relationship. Okay? That we put value of the domain and also with the range. Okay, yung domain, ang tawag is X. Ang range is tawag is Y. Now, here, sa example number 2, saan raw dito ang function? Again, saan dito? Which, decide whether the following lists are functions. So, let's check first yung number 1. Function ba to or hindi? Again ha, function ba to or hindi? Okay? Now, here, remember, going back again to the definition of function, kapag sinabing function is a relationship that assigned to each element of the domain. Exactly one element of the range. So, ibig sabihin daw, again ha, function is the relation that assigns to one element of the domain. So, isa lang. So, example, we have the 1 and 2. Saan yung domain? Yung 1. Ang the range is 2. So, yung function is nag-a-assign lang tayo ng isang element ng ating domain. Okay? So, exactly one element of the range. Okay? So, that's the definition. Again, to each element of the domain. So, sorry, each element of the domain, but exactly one element of the range. So, isa lang sa range, but it will be each of the element of the X. Okay? Isa lang sa X. Alright? Sorry. It's each element. So it could be one each of them. However, sa range is isa lang. Okay? Now, dako tayo sa number 2 or example number 2. So, we have x, okay, minus 1, negative 1, 2, 4, 3, negative 2, 3, 5, 8. All right? Then sa letter G, the function of G is A, B, C, D, D, E, F, G, so on and so forth. Okay, number 3, 1A, 2B, 3C, 4D, letter S, 4, 5, 4, 2, negative 4, 5, 1, 7, and sa P is 1, 5, 2, 10, 3, 15, so on and so forth. Okay? Now, the point here is that saan daw dito ang function? Function ba ang number 1? Okay, function ba? Now, let's have here the rationalization. Now, based on the given example here, okay, only relation S daw, dito si S lang daw, is not a function. Okay, repeat. Si S lang daw ang hindi function. Bakit? Ano bang dahilan? Bakit si S ang hindi function? Okay, bakit daw? Now, remember this one, only relation S is not a function since the element of 4 of the domain is mapped to 2 elements. Now, dako tayo sa domain. Okay, 4, 4, okay, negative 4, and 1, 7. Now, dapat tandaan natin, di ba? Only relation is not a function since the element of 4 of the domain is mapped to 2 elements. Again, mapped to 2 elements. So, ginamit ang 4 sa 4, 5, at 4, 2. Again, ginamit ang 4 sa 4, 5, at 4, 2. Di ba? Now, ang rule kasi is that, remember, is not a function since the element of 4 of the domain is mapped to 2 elements of the range. Okay, ginamit siya sa dalawang range. Sa partner siya ng 5 at partner siya ng negative 2. Okay, remember, relations, the F, G, H, and P are functions because no two ordered pairs have the same domain but different range. Yan ha? Ibig sabihin daw, sa letter S, yeah, ang hindi function because the remaining F, G, H, and P is hindi ginamit ang domain sa different ordered pairs. Okay, I mean, it appears only once. Okay, so dako tayo sa letter F. Okay, ginamit ba ang negative 1 sa other domain? Hindi, so tama siya. Ginamit ba ang A sa other domain, other range? Hindi, tama. So how about this one? Ginamit ba ang 1 sa other domain? Hindi. How about dito sa letter P? Ginamit ba ang 1 sa other domain? Hindi. Now, ang ginamit lang dito is paulit-ulit ginamit ang number 4. Okay? So again, hindi siya function because dako tayo balik again sa concept. Pag sinabing function again, this one is a relation that assigned to each element of the domain exactly one element of the range. So ibig sabihin, dapat isang beses lang gagamitin ang isang domain sa isang range. Okay? To other range rather. So that's what we call exactly one. So yun yung concept. Kapag ka pinaulit-ulit ginagamit yung domain to other range, so it's not a function anymore. Okay? Nakuha? So that is the point of that exercise. Now, we are done with the first part. Now, let's move on to the vertical line test. Okay. Now, ano ba ang kaibahan kapag sinabing vertical? We have the word vertical. We also have the word horizontal. Again ha, meron tayong vertical at the word horizontal. Okay, para madaling maintindihan, okay, just follow after me. Pag sinabing vertical, say varug. Again, varug. Pag sinabing varug, it means that you need to stand. Pag sinabing horizontal, it means higda. Okay, pag higda, it means that you need to lay down, right? So, to easily understand, pag sinabing vertical, varug, it means that you need to stand. Okay, vertically. Pag sinabing horizontal, it means higda, it means that you need to lay down like you are sleeping. Okay? So that's the point. Now, repeat over tayo. Ano yung vertical? Vertical means barug. How about horizontal? Means the higda. So, vertical and horizontal. Now, we have here the vertical line test. Okay? So, a graph is said to be a function if and only if each vertical line intersects the graph at exactly one point. Okay, ano ba ibig sabihin nun? Now, pag sinabi ng vertical line test, the graph daw is said to be a function if and only if. Ano nga yung function? Is a relationship. Okay, ha? Function is a relationship that has, okay, one domain that is used to different, one domain and one range. Okay? Now, the point here is that kapag ka sinabi daw nating vertical line test, ang graph daw is function lang siya kapag ka only if each vertical line, yung straight line or yung yung vertical, yung naka-stand na linya is naka-intersect lang siya at exactly one point. Ibig sabihin daw, if this is the graph, okay, ibig sabihin, naka-intersect lang siya at one point. Ako again, the vertical line intersects at graph at exactly 1 point. So this is, remember, the y-axis, right? And the x. Let me check first if where is the y and x-axis. Just a second here. Okay, let me show you the x and y axis in the internet. X and y axis to easily understood. One moment here. Okay, can you see my screen, right? Okay, so that's good. Now, dako tayo sa x and y axis. Natandaan, okay, I made a mistake, so sorry for that one. Okay, kapag ka vertical, this one, kapag ka vertical, this is the y axis. Okay, one more time. Kapag ka vertical, ang tawag dyan ay y axis. Okay, one more time. Kapag ka vertical, ang tawag dyan ay y axis. Okay, nakuha? So one more time, kapag ka vertical, ang tawag is y axis. Kapag ka horizontal or higda, that's called x axis. Okay? Now, ang point doon is matatawag lang doon na function kapag ka ang linya ay naka-point lang sa one, if the line points only one time with our graph. Okay, so it could be isang point dito sa ating y-axis at isang point sa ating x-axis. Again, remember 2 points indicates a line. Ibig sabihin doon kapag may dalawang point, ibig sabihin makabuo tayo ng linya. Okay? Now, again, repeat dito, the rule stated in our concept is that a graph is said to be a function if and only if each vertical line intersects the graph at exactly 1 point. So, ibig sabihin, isang point lang ang dapat naka-touch sa ating x and y axis. Now, this one, is this a function? Yes or no? Is this a function? Yes or no? That is a yes, because again, we point 1 here for the y-axis and also 1 point for the x-axis. So this is a line. Okay? So let's check your understanding if you understood. Nadako tayo. Sa example number 3, tell whether the graph of each relation is the graph of a function. Again, just let me know if ang graph dito sa ating exercise or sa ating sa ating function or sa ating graph rather, is it could be function or not. Now, number 1, is this a function or not? Say, okay, thumbs up kapag ka-function. Thumbs up. Okay, very good. That is a function. Very good. How about number 2? Thumbs up, thumbs down. That is thumbs down. Okay, very good. Now remember, ang rule is we only need to touch the graph or the y or the x-axis 1 time. Now, this is circle. So we have 1 here, the 1 point and 2 points. So both of these are in the y-axis. So dapat isang beses lang. Okay? So this is not a function. This thumbs down. Okay? Now, dako tayo sa number 3. Okay. Now, is this, number 3, is this a function or not? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs up or thumbs down? So this is thumbs down. Okay, very good. Why? Because again, the rule is we only need to touch the graph one point. Okay, no. We just need to touch the graph only once. Okay, so we have this part here, so 1. So merong dalawang point na nakatouch sa ating x-axis. So this is not a function. Okay, so again, tandaan, dapat isang beses lang siya nakatouch sa ating graph. It could be in the y-axis or in the x-axis. Now, number 4, is this a function or no? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Thumbs, okay, thumbs down. Okay, so no, this thumbs up, because remember, we only touch, okay, once here. Okay, once in our y-axis. All right. Okay, nakuha hindi. So we have this one. Okay, the only function from the relations above are 1, 4, and 5. Okay, while 2 and 3, we have the 2. Okay, and also the 3 here is not a function. Okay, nakuha. So that is the point there. Okay. Now, dako naman tayo dito sa ating next line. We have number 5. Is this a function or no? Okay, is this a function or no? Okay, that is a function because we only hit once our graph. So we have this one. Okay, and also this one here, but in different graphs. Okay, so that's the point there. Okay, so again, the answer is the only function from the relations above are number 1, 4, and 5. Okay, time we have the number 1, we have the number 4, and also we have the number 5. Okay, ito lang yung mga functions. And however, the 2 and 3 are not. So ito yung number 2, yung circle, at ito yung number 3. Okay? So anong reason? Because remember again, the point here is they intersect the graph at more than 1 point. So again, naka-intersect sila sa ating graph at more than, again, 1 point. So it must be only 1 point. Okay? So only 1 point. So again, this one, 2 points here, 1, 2. And in the other side, we have this part. We have we have this one and this one. Okay, so there are 2 points. Okay, nakuha? Okay, so very good. Now, dako naman tayo sa ating next point here or next topic. We have the example number 4. Okay, so state the function p that will describe the total distance of a student when he runs 5 kilometers per day at the end of 5 days. Now, remember, we are talking about a function, right? Ang function is, it's a relationship. Okay? Okay, it's a relationship ng domain at range. Okay, nakatayo again, ano yung function? A function is okay, repeat, the relationship that assigns to each element of the domain exactly one element of the range. So, ibig sabihin daw, meron tayong pair, x and y. Ang function is, this is a function once we have the domain and the range. But remember, we only use the domain exactly one element of the range. So, dapat isang beses lang siyang gagamitin. Okay? Now, dako tayo again sa ating next exercise number, example number 4. State a function p that will describe a total distance of a student when he runs 5 kilometers per day at the end of 5 days. Now, let's have the answer. How can we create a function here? Okay? Now, since each day makes him 5 kilometers, then the distance function is p function of x equals to 5x. Okay, repeat. Ano ba? How does it happen? Now, state the function of p. So, let's state. Okay, sasabihin daw natin, let's try to talk about the function of p. Ano ba ang function ng p? However, the situation states that state the function p that will describe the total distance of the student when he runs 5 kilometers per day at the end of 5 days. Now, ang ibig sabihin nito is ang function daw of x means 5 times x. What does it mean? Now, ano nga yung 5? 5 refers here 5 kilometer per day. Yun ha, yung 5 here refers to the 5 kilometer per day. Ano naman yung x? At the end of 5 days. Now, the point here is that state the function that will describe the total distance of a student when he runs 5 kilometer per day at the end of 5 days. So, the question is, ilang kilometro ba ang mararun or mararun ng isang estudyante kapag every day is he will run 5 kilometers per day. For example, I run every day 5 kilometers per day for 5 days. Okay, so 5 times 5 equals 25. Now, the point here is that we are talking about the function. Ano ba ang function ng P sa problem na ito? So, the point here, since each day makes him 5 kilometers, okay, that's 5 kilometers per day, then the distance function is, ano ba yung distance natin kapag he always runs 5 kilometers per day? So, we can say the function of x is equal to 5 times x. Because ang x here, yung x natin is, it talks about the distance. Okay, the distance that he can run after 5 days. Okay, nakuha? So, this one, ang x dito, again, one more time, is ang ating, what is the x? Okay, isang ating, okay, we have the, okay, x is the value ng ating, okay, distance. Okay, very good. So, that is the 5x. So, the function, the p, the point is, the function of p is equal to 5x. Okay, nakuha? Okay, very good. Now, dako naman tayo sa example number 5. Okay, in a certain city, the Philippine Statistics Office has recorded a total population of 680,000 people in the year 2018. So, ibig sabihin, merong 680,000 people na nakatira, there is a 680,000 population of people in the year 2018. So, we don't know where is the location. Okay, so the population increases at the rate of 0.25% annually. So, we need to determine an equation that represents the population with respect to the number of years after 2018. Okay, repeat mo na ha. Again, sinabi ng PSA, o Philippine Statistics Authority, in a certain city daw, ano to, in what city, let's say na lang sa Davao daw, let's say na lang sa Davao, the Philippine Statistics Authority or Office has recorded a total population of 680,000. So, meron ng 680,000 katao sa Davao, for example, in the year 2018 pa lamang yon. Now, the point here is the population increases at the rate of 25% annually or 0.25%. Ibig sabihin daw, every year, every taon, nag-i-increase ng 0.25% annually. It means annually, it means that every year. Now, the point here is determine an equation that represents the population with respect to the number of years after 2018. So, the point here is dapat nagagawa tayo ng equation na magre-represent sa ating population kapag with respect to the number of years after 2018. So, ilan kaya ang population after na 2018? So, gagawa tayo ng formula. Now, suppose the rate of increase is constant. So, suppose natin na dapat, not dapat, supposedly that every year there is a 0.25% increase of the population. Now, ano yung answer we have here? Okay, the equation will be the form of P. Okay, that's P is the population. Okay, so let's read first the formula. P is equal to A plus and upper versus 1 plus R to the power of N. Okay, such as A daw, tong A natin dito, is the initial population. So, ano yung initial population? We have 680,000. So, ito yung initial population. And then, R is the rate of increase. So, ano ba yung increase ng ating R? It's 25%. Bakit meron pong 1? Ang 1 dito is 1 refers to the annually. So, remember, annually means 1 year. So, every one, last 1 year, okay, let me delete first. Okay, one more time. Okay, this year, 1 year, dapat daw mag-increase ka ng ilang percent? 0.25%. Okay? Nakuha. And then the n outside the power of n, okay, is the time in years. Okay? Ilang taon. Okay? Maybe we can compute. Let's say for example, okay, today this is 2018, ang population natin ngayon is 680,000. Ang population. However, this year, I mean, the year is 2018, ngayon is 2023 na. So, ilan na kaya ang population ngayon? So, we will use this formula to compute ilan na kaya ang population ngayon if we compare last 2018 using this formula. Okay, so let's repeat one more time. Ano yung P? Yung P is the population because we are talking about population. Ang A naman is yung initial population na recorded ng PSO, a Philippine Statistics Office. Then ang 1 naman is yung annually. Annual means 1. Ang R is yung rate natin, ang increase of rate. Then yung N is the number of years when we wanted to compute. So, because our goal here is determine an equation that represents the population with respect to the number of years after 2018. So that's the reason why we can make this formula. Okay? Now, to say that one, okay, let's have here, hence, we have the function, ito yung function natin, the P is equal to 680,000 times 1.0025 to the power of N. Okay, nakuha. So, ito yung formula natin to compute. For example, we need to compute the formula, or I mean, we need to compute ilan yung tao last 2018 if we compared today sa 2023. Okay, nakuha. So, in that case, that's the point there. All right. Now, if you wanted to check or to compute, so we can have here 680. So, let's have here one naman. Okay. Now, today is 2023, right? 2023 minus 2018. Ilang years na? We have 5 years, right? It's mistaken. So, 2018, 19, 21, 23. So, 5 years. Now, since you have this formula already, so you just need to change the N. The N is 5 years. Okay? So, ano bang sagot? Okay, so compute. So, let's compute together. So, we have here, naman, okay, 680,000. Okay, naman here. Okay, let's compute to understand. Okay, so 680,000, okay, times 1.0025. Okay, times, let me put it here, times, ano naman? Okay, the answer is, ano naman? Let's have the online calculator. Okay, let me check here, just a second. All right. Okay. So again, what you need to do is we need to multiply, okay, the number of the initial year, 680,000. Okay, so 680,000 daw yung tao last 2018, right? Times daw natin sa ating constant na rate na 1.0025 because every year there is a 0.25% annual increase. Okay, so ang sagot is we have 6081700 times 5 years naman siya. So 2023, so meron ng tao ngayon, the total number of tao ngayon sa Davao is we have 5, okay, 3,408,500. Okay? So ito yung total number ng ating population as of now. If we are going to follow the computation stated in the formula in our activity or in our concept. Okay, nakuha? Mhm. Okay, very good. So that is the point there. Now, so let's move on to the next lesson we have. We have the word piecewise function. Ano ba yung piecewise function? Kapag sinabi yung piecewise function is a function that contains at least two equations or pieces. Again ha, kapag sinabing function, meron tayong dalawang equations. At least two. At least. Again, kapag sinabing two, minimum ng two equations na tinatawag nating pieces, each of which depends on the value of the independent variable or the domain. So meron tayong dependent and independent. Kapag sinabing independent, so he can it can stand alone. So for example, to easily understood, we have the word independent and dependent. Kapag sinabing independent, you can stand by yourself. For example, your mom and dad can stand by themselves. They can live by themselves because they have job. But you, since you still don't have a job, you are dependent. It means that depende tayo sa ating parents because we cannot still make our own money. So that's the word dependent. Okay? Now let's repeat. Kapag sinabing piecewise function, it means that a function that contains at least two equations na tinatawag natin na pieces, and each of which depends on the value of the independent variable or the domain. So, ibig sabihin daw, yung function natin na two equations is magdedepende sa function or sa value ng ating independent variable or ng ating domain or ang value ng x. Okay? All right, now, moving forward, we have example number 6 to understand the concept. So, we have driving lessons require a rental car fee of 500 pesos for the first 8 kilometer. Okay, for instance, you wanted to know how to drive. Gusto mong you really wanted to know how to drive. So, for example, sa IGB raw is merong driving lessons. Okay? And the point here is that you will pay, rather magbabayad ka ron ng 500 pesos for every 8 kilometers. Okay, saan ka magbabayad? Sa ating rental car fee. So, magbabayad ka sa renta ng ating sasakyan. So, magbabayad ka ng 500 pesos for the first 8 kilometers. So, kapag ka 8 kilometers, so 500. Kapag ka kulang, ilang babayaran? Still the same, 8 kilometers. But, remember, and for every kilometer added, charges an additional fee of 50 pesos. Kapag ka daw, lalampas ka ng 8, example, 9 kilometers, so mag-extra ka ng 50 pesos. Okay? So, repeat one more time. Kapag ka daw, okay, there is a driving school or driving lesson. Now, you will pay, magbabayad ka rin ng 500 pesos sa first 8 kilometers. Kapag ka lalampas ng 8 kilometers, you need to pay additional, ilan daw, magkano? 50 pesos. Okay? Now, here, express a piecewise function for the problem above. So, gagawa natin to ng piecewise function. Again, repeat. What is piecewise function? It means that a function that contains at least two equations or pieces. Meron tayong dalawang equation. Okay, now before we start, okay, let's have here the signs of the greater than and less than. Okay, remember what sign is this? Okay, kapag ka nakaturo sa ating right side, this is what we call, sino mas malakas, the left or right? So we have the right. So this is what we call greater than. Again ha, kapag ka malakas, okay, not kapag ka, remember the right side is stronger compared to our left side, di ba? So since that is stronger, so kapag ka nakatuon ang ating ulo doon sa right side, ibig sabihin ito ay greater than. O ha? However, if this is, if the head is pointing at the left side, it means that is less than. Okay, repeat one more time. Anong symbol to? This is greater than. How about this one? This is lesser than. How about this one? Kapag ka merong sign dito sa ibaba, it means that lesser than or equal to. Again, lesser than or equal to. About this, kapag kalagyan ng line sa baba, it means that greater than or equal to. Okay, so because this symbol means equal. Okay, so lagyan natin dito, greater than or equal to. So that's the signs. Okay, now, repeat tayo dito. So, the function of x. Ano ba ang function ng x? Okay, this one we have the function. So, let's say daw, ang function ng x is, you will pay 500 pesos. Okay, kailan ka magbabayad ng 500 pesos? Kapag ka, okay, you will pay 500 pesos kapag ka lesser than or equal sa 8. Or lesser than, okay, this one naman here, just a second. Okay, this one. So one more time, magbabayad ka rin ng 500 kapag ka lesser than or equal to 8 ang nakonsume mo ng 8 kilometers. Okay, or yung x mo daw is this one, greater than 0. Kapag ka ang x is greater than 0, so you will pay 500. Nakuha? Okay, so repeat one more time. Ilan daw, magkano daw ang ibabayad? You will pay 500 pesos kapag ka lesser than, okay, or equal to 8. Again ha, kapag ka lesser than or equal to 8 kilometers. Or it could be lesser than, greater than 0. Nakuha? Now, dako naman tayo sa, this is the first formula. Dako naman tayo sa next formula. So, you will pay 500 pesos plus 50 daw kapag ka x minus 8. Okay, ano yung x? Yung x natin dito is it talks about the kilometers. Okay, ano ang function of x? Anong kilometers? So, here in this point, now, you will pay 500 pesos plus 50 raw kapag ka yung x mo, yung number of kilometers minus 8. It means that kapag ka nakapag-drive ka ng 9 kilometers, remember, 8 kilometers less than 8 kilometers or exactly 8 kilometers, you will pay 500, di ba? Kapag ka lalampas na ng 8 kilometers, you will pay additional 50 pesos. So, 9 minus 8 equals 1, right? Di ba? So, 9 minus 1 is 50. So, 500 times 50, it's about 550. Okay, now let's change. For example, you say 10. So, instead of 8 kilometers, you drive about 10 kilometers. So, 10 minus 8 equals to 2. So, 50 times 8 is 100. 100 plus 500 is 600. So, you will pay 600 pesos for every 10 kilometers. Because remember, for every 1 kilometer, you pay 50 pesos. Okay? Now, the other rule for that one or the other formula is you will pay this one, the function of x is greater than 8. So, it means that in this part here, so the value of x is greater than 8. It means that you will pay additional 50 pesos if ever you will increase. Okay? If yung value ng ating x is beyond 8 or greater than 8. Remember, you only need to pay 500 pesos if the number of kilometers you run is about 8. Kapag kalalampasan ng 8, so magbabayad ka ng additional 50 pesos. So yun yung point there. Okay, nakuha. Now, dako naman tayo sa ating example number 7. We have an online seller charges a certain amount for the shipping fee of a purchased products or items for orders 10 for fewer items. Okay, and then she charges 10 daw pesos for 15 items for orders or 20 or fewer. Okay, but more than 10 items and 10 items per item for more than 20 items. So the point here is that to make it understandable, now, an online seller daw, nagcha-charge siya ng certain amount for the shipping fee. For example, I am selling mango. Okay? If I am selling mango, so kapag ka magpapadeliver ka ng mango sa inyong bahay, so I will ask purchase a shipping fee. Okay? Magkano yung shipping fee? Now, ang sinabi niya is, kapag ka mag-o-order ka daw ng 10 lang or lower 10, okay ha? Kapag mag-order ka ng lesser than 10, okay, lesser than 10. Okay, kapag ka mag-order ka ng lesser than 10, you will pay 20. Yan ha, kapag ka mag-order ka daw ng lesser than 10, ang ibabayad mo is 20 pesos each. Kapag ka 10 or lower. Kapag ka 10 or lower ha, magbabayad ka ng 20. On the other hand, 15 per item for orders 20 or fewer. Yan ha, magbabayad ka daw. Remember, pag 10 daw, or fewer ang bibilhin mo na item, ang bayad mo lang is 20. But, you will pay 15 pesos kapag ka ang order mo is 20. Or fewer, but more than 10. So, it could be this one. Okay? So, it could be, the point here is, you will pay 15 pesos kapag ang order mo is between 20 and 10. Okay? Because kanina kapag less than 10, ang ibabayad mo lang is 20 pesos. Dito naman, kapag yung order mo is 20, between 20 and 10, ang ibabayad mo lang is 15 pesos sa shipping fee. Now, next part is we have 10. Okay, you will pay 10 pesos sa ating shipping fee kapag items for orders are more than 20. So, you will pay 10 pesos kapag yung order mo is more than 20 pesos. Nakuha? So, one more time, repeat. You will pay 20 pesos kapag daw ang order mo is 10 below. 20 pesos ang ibabayad sa shipping fee. However, kapag ang order mo is 20, between 20 and 10, ang ibabayad is 15. However, or furthermore, 10 pesos daw ang ibabayad mo kapag nag-order ka ng 20 and above. Okay? Now, ang problem dito is write a function representing the cost for the number of items or products. So again, write a function representing the cost. Again, write a function representing the cost for the number of items or products. Okay, so we can say the function of x, okay, so the function of the products or items is equal to 20x, 15x, 10x. Bakit? Because here, you will pay 20 pesos again kapag this one. Kapag ang order mo is lesser than or equal to 10, but more than 0, magbabayad ka ng 20. So that's what I wrote rather earlier. So the same pa din siya. Okay? So that's what you need to pay. Nakuha? Okay. So since this one, balik tayo dito. Kapag daw lesser than 10 or equal to 10, you will pay 20 pesos. But hindi siya kapag hindi ka bibili, so it must be 0. It must be more than 1, greater than 0. Okay? And on the other hand, sa 15x naman dito, kapag bibili ka ng 20 greater than, kapag bibili ka raw ng items na lesser than, because this is lesser than 20 at more than 11, okay, you will pay 15. However, kapag bibili ka ng more than 20, so you'll pay 10. So that is a piecewise function. Okay, so that is the competence that we have that represents all real-life situations using functions including piecewise functions. So again, ang competency dapat natin ma-attain is represents real-life situations using functions including piecewise functions. So that's the discussion. Now, you need to do is, you need to answer these questions here. We have exercise number 1. You need to determine the domain and the range of the given numbers here. Exercise number 2 is identify the domain for each relation using the set builder notation. Yun ha, you need to find the domain. Okay, then followed by we have the exercise number 3. Okay, directions give a function that represents each situation. So gagawa tayo ng function. Okay, and then reflection is you need to write here what you have learned from this topic. So yun yung gagawin nyo. So that's the end of our first discussion. Thank you so much. Keep safe and have a great day.